So what we're looking at here is walkthrough of the 2021 Maths Methods written examination. So these are my explanations, and I will refer from time to time to things that are in the examiner's report. Of course, you should all look at that yourself and use your teacher. All right, so I won't do the whole paper. I'll break it down into smaller, because there's 9 questions there. I'll break it down into smaller sections of, depending on the length of the question. Could be 2 or 3 questions at a time. All right. So all these instructions here, there's nothing much in that you would not be aware of. They're general VCAA exam instructions. Now these ones here, you do need to, and in this first one here says, in all questions where a numerical answer is required, an exact value must be given unless otherwise specified. And you've got to be very careful with that, because sometimes within a question they will alternate between both. And the other one is questions where there's more than one mark is available, appropriate working must be shown. All right. So if it's a 3-mark question, there's working you've got to do. All right. So before we go too much further, let's have a look at this one. First question: differentiate y equals 2e to the negative 3x with respect to x. And so in this particular case, 1 mark, so you can go straight with your answer. So dy dx equals, and this is just simply e to the kx. So we bring our k down, negative 3 comes down, we've got a 2 already there. So negative 3 times the 2 that's there is negative 6, e to the minus 3x. All right, so simply that's all we need to do. All right, so this next one, evaluate f-4, where fx is at this function x square root 2x plus 1, and it's worth 2 marks. All right. So first of all, we're after the derivative f-4. So first of all, we need to differentiate this. Now we notice and we have a look and we see it's x times the square root. And so that then suggests to me, if it's times there, we've got the product rule. So what I'm going to do is let u equal x, and v is going to equal square root. Now I'm going to rewrite that in index form so that we can differentiate. Okay, so u dashed, of course, is 1 there, and v dashed. Okay, I'm going to use the rule of thumb shortcut, so I don't need to do the chain rule. So the power comes down, reduces by 1, multiply by the derivative of what's inside, which is 2. And so that then becomes 1 over the square root of 2x plus 1. All right, and so there's our f dashed. Well, we've got all the makings of it, and so we refer to our product rule in the formula sheet. So we've simply got x times v, u times v dashed, so that's x times this, so x over square root of 2x plus 1. plus v times u dashed, and so I'm going to put it back with the square root form rather than the index form, 2x plus 1. All right, and so now we need to put in the numbers because we want f dashed 4. So 4 over the square root of 2 4s plus 1 plus the square root of 2 times 4 plus 1. So we've got 4 over root 9 plus root 9. So we've got 4/3 plus 3. All right, and now we've got to give an exact value answer. And so my recommendation is just to give it as an improper fraction. So 4/3 plus 3, so 3 would be 9/3 plus 4, so would be 13/3 would be our answer. All right. Okay, so 2 marks, so you have to show enough working, so you would need to show how you got this derivative, i.e. with this stuff here, and of course the answer's got to be an exact value. All right, so the next one, f dashed x is x cubed plus x, and we want to find fx given that f of 1 is 2. All right, we'll park the f of 1 equals 2, and so to get out, and we'll use that later, so to get out from our derivative we need to anti-differentiate, and we need to anti-differentiate x cubed plus x dx, and of course when we do that it's the opposite, so our power increases by 1 divided by the new power, and we have a constant. All right, now this is where our f of 1 equals 2 comes in, so f of 1 equals 2. So f of 1 is when we put 1 in here, so we've got 1/4 plus 1/2 plus c. So 2 equals 3/4 plus c. So c would be 2 minus 3/4, which I believe would be 1 1/4, which is 5/4. All right. Now, just a technical thing here, if you leave that there, you're not going to get all the marks because the question asks us to find fx. And now, while we've got all the stuff there, we actually need to write it down and make it completely clear that we understand that x squared is x to the 4 on 4 plus x squared on 2 plus 5 on 4. All right, so if you look at the examiner's report, you'll see that if people didn't write that function fx in full there, then they didn't get all of the marks. All right, so that's probably enough for this video. So questions 1 and 2 on this video, and there'll be other videos for some of the other, or for all of the other questions.